Thank you. I prepared a presentation for today, prepared 16 slides for you guys. I seen I was following Andrew, so I skimmed that down to 10. So don't worry, Russ, we'll be in time. A lot of questions around marshalling and stevedoring. Happens inside port gates and general public don't usually get a chance to have a look. So I'm going to skip through some slides today. I'm going to show you what it's all about from start to finish, give you an overview, and there's a video at the end which from start to finish through the supply chain of logs in port gates onto vessels, and then we'll have some questions and answers. Could Andrew lead a clicker? So this slide here is taken on the deck of a ship in the Port of Napier, and you can see that there's a lot of logs on port and there's a lot of gear involved. Right at the start, the very first focus point is trucks coming into port, collecting the information to where they come from, where those trucks come from, and recording it against the logs. So ISO had to develop a log marshalling system, inventory system. I assisted ISO with that in the end of 2009 through 2010, and it's working in productive operations throughout New Zealand. Its primary focus is receiving the carton information. It's tracking the source information from where the trees are coming from, and recording in the system, in the inventory system, as to what grade and length and what markets those logs might be going to. Every log is ticketed and scaled. Through the system on receival, the inventory controller here is allocating the logs to a storage location in the yard. This allows for planning prior to vessels coming in, and it just allows for more productive loading of vessels. And the technology is quite smart. When she's finished entering the truck information, the scanners and the machine operators will be instructed and some duties and some work to carry out. So this is our checkpoint, a scaling operation. So through here they're measuring the logs in the jazz measure. You'll see that there's some butt ends, some butt marks on those logs there, which is indicating the large end, and on the small end there's a tag attached. Then someone's going through with the scanner over here, and they're doing a 2-end measurement of the end with the tag on it, and they're measuring that log in jazz. Jazz is the only softwood export measurement used throughout New Zealand. It's used predominantly throughout the export of softwood in Australia, and we're starting to see jazz measure used out in the United States. Andrew Lockie talked about log storage. This is a material handler to increase storage over the port. We've gone to receiving trucks predominantly with material handler. It allows you to take logs straight from the truck and put them into row. What that's done is that's changed our delivery method to ship side, and it's created a focus on requiring trailers, because obviously the rows are much higher now, so we actually need to load out with an MH, and that material handler can't carry those logs from that row to ship side, so we've gone to a trailer delivery. Has significantly improved log storage. I think we were successful in a contract in January in Tauranga, and we increased the log storage by the 13%, the same footprint. As a result of introducing the trailers, there's been an increase in productivity because it removes some hesitation throughout the supply of logs to the ship side. And all tied around this is some electronic tracking. So the inventory system that I talked about, this is a tablet inside this operator's machine, and it's actually recording what the product is, where it's going, and it's recording who put it there. So there's a lot of transparency and traceability of the cargo into row. The big focus for my division and my team is vessel planning, and it's all about optimising the vessel, and vessel planning right from 2, 3, 4 days before the vessel's due. Planning will take place, and there's some pretty smart technology around it. The bottom here you can see there's a wire diagram of a hatch. Looks like it'll be the number 5 hatch of a vessel, and depending on where you put each grade of log and each length in that hatch, it'll stow at a different stow factor. So if you put nice big long logs right at the bottom, at the back, at the wide end of this Y diagram, it'll stow better. If you put it up the front end, it'll stow worse. That technology has really improved the ability to stow logs on a ship. The stowage of logs on a ship is really important. It allows you to, you have to get a required amount of tons under deck to ensure that that ship sails with the maximum uplift. So with this technology, it allows our supervisors to plan really quickly and see what the result's going to be before the vessel arrives. Supply to hook, and Andrew Locke talked a little bit about the trailers. So the trailers was a really good innovation. One, the tractor unit drops off and takes off. That means that you've got nobody else around your working area, so it removes some health and safety hazards. Two, it means that you don't have 4 or 5 or 6 guys involved with supply. You've only got one, and the advantage with these trailers is the 90 ton that can go across the port. So the trailer itself is configurable. There's 3 bays on there. You can have 3 bays provided the logs are 5 metre or less, and if you want to run logs of longer than 5 metre, you'll take the centre bay off, you'll turn the other 2 round, and you can convert the trailer. Some other big specialised gear is the Cat 988. We've brought 7 of these for delivering logs shipside. It's a very big capital investment, and just touching on how important it is for consistency through of volume to port is that people need a lot of confidence to buy this gear, and if you want to get well-performing vessels, this gear is required. Shipside, there's an auditing process of every log. Now this ensures that all the logs that are being loaded are intended to be loaded, and it's a very important part of the process. The trailer delivery mechanism has really improved the efficiency through here, because obviously it allows you to deliver multiple trailers to be audited, and the ship can carry on loading. Unlike a machine that's delivering shipside, the auditing has to happen, then the loading can occur, then another load can come in. Loading efficiency. So I talked about it before, maximum uplift of vessels. It's also vessel turnaround. Those 2 key points for stevedoring can significantly impact your freight cost. So ISO's focus is to ensure that we reduce ship time, and we do this by loading productively. Big lifts shipside and frequent lifts into the hatch. Maximising stow. This is ensuring you get your volume under deck. We've specialised the gear. We've brought larger machinery, and we've kitted it out to be safer and more efficient. And this guy's role is to ensure that he gets as much logs under deck as possible, and that's to achieve the maximum uplift. And like I said, that reduces the freight cost significantly. Just looking at I got my analyst to put together some slides, and this is looking at some volume, which is delivered to the port in a volatile manner. Through the bottom here we have fortnight. For stevedoring, our biggest cost component is our HR, and it's actually training and developing of people. We've got 130 standard operating procedures and over 47 training manuals, which people are required to go through to be able to conduct the task on a daily basis. So through this section here in particular, there's fortnights here where people are going without pay. Those people are going without pay are leaving the port, and we're losing the skill, and it's impacting our ability to move that volume on further on down the track. So the information that's keyed into the system, you can see that this volatile method is, this red section here, is lost opportunity potentially, because it's really impacted our ability to have the resource, the HR resource, to conduct the stevedoring work. When you come back to the other end of that and the work gets a little bit more consistent, your workforce grows, so your ability to handle that, your infrastructure, your HR infrastructure improves, and your ability to handle that improves, so you're starting to get that volume across the board. Here's the ideal world. Obviously there's still quite a lot of volatility, but there's a check in the mail every fortnight for those workers. So it's really important for the infrastructure on port that HR they get work every fortnight. So just to sum it up, marshalling stevedoring, it's a big capital investment. If you want gear that's going to move logs productively, you've got to invest a lot of money, and to invest that money, you're going to need confidence that you're actually going to get the turnaround. There's a large number of skilled staff, and in the port environment with the peaks and troughs of shipping, maintaining that staff is a challenge. And obviously the smoother it is, the cheaper it is, the more volatile it is, the more expensive it is. For example, through April, the waterfront decided to export a great deal of logs on a much larger number of vessels. So we went through a recruitment process of 97 roles, and we didn't export any more logs than we did the month after. So it's just the fact that there were more ships, people wanted to move the same volume just with a little bit more volatility, and it had a significant impact on HR costs. Benefits to the consistent supply chain is obviously people with consistent supply and big volumes, they're willing to invest in big gear, the performance is there, the rates are cheaper, and it's significantly, that gear will significantly reduce freight rates. see through there's a lot of roles, a lot of responsibilities, and a lot of gear. So consistent supply through to the port and having confidence to invest in that HR and that equipment will give much better performance overall. Some time for any questions.